Scream. I chose Scream for my project. I will be explaining how it connects to sociology and all the aspects of it, and then I'll give 3 examples. For the 3 different concepts, I chose stigma, power, and status. I will also be stating some facts and information about Scream. Why it matters and why I chose it. I chose it because Scream is one of the first ever horror movies I watched, and I think it's a really good horror movie. I think it has the best series of all time. And then why it matters, because there's a lot of things in the Scream movies that you can relate to with sociology. Also, it's a very good movie. Background. The movie was directed by Wes Craven and was released in 1996. The story follows a small town named Woodsboro who gets attacked by a series of different murders. The story follows the main character, Sidney Prescott, and her friends as they try to survive the murders and discover the real reason behind them. What do the fans think about it? The fans of this movie really like the movie because it's unique characters, good writing, and how different it is from all horror movies that were released back then. Also that were released now. Its creative storytelling keeps the fans hooked and wanting more from it. What do people think about it? And when I say people, I mean people who are unfamiliar with the franchise or horror movies in general. People unfamiliar with the franchise would probably assume that it's a very basic slasher movie, just like a lot of the movies that were released in that time. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. The first concept that I chose for this is stigma, a powerful social mark of disgrace that devalues, rejects, or excludes individuals or groups based on an attribute seen as contrary to social norms, leading to prejudice, stereotyping, discrimination, and loss of status. So basically a negative mark put on someone or something. Horror movies were becoming bad and basic to many people. A lot of horror movies released in the 90s were very repetitive sequels of already good existing horror movies or plain out bad copies. Some examples of these are the many sequels of the Halloween and the Friday the 13th movies. How this affected Scream. People were already tired of seeing horror movies in the theaters, so this put a very negative impact on Scream even before release. Some people thought that it was just going to be another bad copy of an already existing horror movie or just a straight out cash grab. The second concept I chose for this was power. Power is the ability of an individual, group, or institution to influence or control the actions, beliefs, or behaviors of others, even against resistance, shaping social structures and hierarchies through resources and other factors like authority. How Scream saved horror movies. When Scream released, it gained a lot of money in its first month and gained attraction from horror fans and even people outside the horror community. But more importantly, it revived horror movies as a whole. A lot of horror movies were put out just because this movie existed. Influence. Scream pretty much influenced every horror movie that was released in the late 90s and the early 2000s. In fact, it even brought the Child's Play movies, aka the Chucky movies, back in a new and intuitive way. It brought back faith in horror movies as a whole. I chose status for my third concept. A person or thing's position or rank within a higher social hierarchy, which comes with specific rights, duties, and expectations. I will explain the status of Scream and go into very fine detail in all the little things about Scream and why it's so good. Speaking of that, why Scream is so good. Scream uses meta-commentary and speaks about horror movies. Scream gives a new, fresh, and exciting take to horror movies while also reverting expectations from viewers. It uses a lot of smart tactics to keep the viewers interested, but also has a compelling story. Characters. Unlike a lot of other slasher movies, Scream has very well-written characters that actually go well with the plot. The characters are smart, funny, and relatable. The actors playing them do a very well job on portraying the characters, and the movie wouldn't be the same without them. And of course, the iconic killer Ghostface, the character that you've been seeing on most of the slides. Throughout the whole movie, Sidney and her friends had to figure out who the killer is and what their motive is, and finding out a way to stop them. If you ever heard the line, "What's your favorite scary movie?" just remember that Ghostface is the one who said it first. Writing. The Scream movies have very good writing. It shows a believable story that has interesting characters, unsuspected plot twists, and many other things that make it so great. It is a simple but effective thing that made the movie very interesting. There is no bad Scream movie. This one is very important. Unlike almost every other horror franchise, Scream has no bad movies. Scream has a total of 6 movies, and each one of them shows a captivating story that stays true to the original, but also gives a new twist on each and every movie. Still making movies today. Unlike a lot of other horror franchises, Scream still is making very good movies to this day, and Scream 7 is a new movie that is coming out soon. Scream has also never had any remakes. This makes it so the story has an ongoing plot and can keep loyal fans interested all throughout the movies. So what? How does Scream reveal about how society works? It reveals that even when things are low, just one change to something can give hope to millions of people. And just because something is in a bad state right now, doesn't mean that it'll stay like that forever. All of this leads to the final thought. In conclusion, Scream has many different themes that relate or connect to themes of that of sociology. This shows that Scream is a very good franchise, and you should watch one of the movies if you haven't already. They're really good movies. My name is Zachary Murray, and this was my sociology project.